Entering 2026, we are facing environmental and medical challenges that operate on a global scale. From neutralizing the stubborn CF bonds in forever chemicals to managing the complex logistics of mRNA vaccine distribution, the stakes for scientific intervention have never been higher. In a laboratory, a chemist can discover a molecular solution to any of these threats in a single test tube. But finding a reaction that works on a lab bench is only the first step. Transforming that discovery into a physical reality for 8 billion people requires chemical engineering. It is the discipline of determining how to replicate a microscopic reaction safely and economically within the constraints of the physical world. By translating molecular theory into industrial infrastructure, these engineers create the operational capacity needed to address crises too large for a laboratory to handle alone. During the 1880s, a distinct operational gap existed between the mechanical engineers who built the machines and the chemists who understood the reactions. Industrial plants were growing in complexity, but there was no science for scaling the chemistry. The effort to formalize this work began in 1887 with George E. Davis, followed by the introduction of MIT's Course X in 1888. These were the first attempts to merge industrial chemistry with mechanical design. In 1915, Arthur D. Little introduced a concept that provided the discipline with a universal language: unit operations. Little realized that any chemical process is actually a sequence of individual physical steps. Processes like filtration or distillation became modular tools. This modularity made the science universal. The same underlying principles to refine petroleum are used to distill alcohol, only the sequence changes. Unit operations gave the world a scalable blueprint. It allowed engineers to take any laboratory reaction and translate it into a reliable mass production industry. This era of scaling led to rapid success. By the mid-20th century, chemical engineers had successfully commercialized plastics, petrochemicals, and the first mass-produced antibiotics like penicillin. However, as the volume of these chemicals increased, so did the danger. Scaling up a reaction doesn't just increase the product output, it increases the physical stress, heat generation, and volatility of the entire system. Tragedies like the Flixborough explosion and the Bhopal disaster demonstrated the consequences of unchecked scale. These events forced the discipline to shift its focus from simple production to the rigorous study of failure points. This led to the adoption of transport phenomena. Engineers used mathematical models to analyze fluid dynamics and heat transfer, looking for where a system might become unstable. These models allowed for predicting volatility, designing safety thresholds directly into the process math. The hard lessons of the mid-century transformed chemical engineering. It evolved into a science where process safety is as fundamental to the design as the chemistry itself. In 2026, the industry has reached a turning point. Sustainable production has moved from a voluntary goal to a legal and moral obligation, with corporate value now linked directly to carbon accounting and waste minimization. To meet these mandates, the lab of the future uses artificial intelligence and modular robotics. Machine learning frameworks now design experiments and optimize reaction conditions 24/7, accelerating the discovery of cleaner manufacturing paths. This technology is being applied to our most urgent challenges, such as developing specialized catalysts that can finally break down the persistent chemical bonds in PFAS forever chemicals. Today's research focuses on creating biodegradable polymers from agricultural waste and integrating life cycle assessments into every new material, ensuring that products are safe by design from their inception to their disposal. Chemical engineers have become a strategic force in the 21st century. Their task is to physically redesign our industrial world to be ethical, sustainable, and capable of supporting a global population.